What are you at, ladies and gentlemen? Lycos here, and welcome back to No Man's Sky. In today's video I'm going to be continuing on with the walkthrough. So the goal of the video for today is to be getting from the space station where we are now to the point in the story where you get to the Nexus, which is the player hub, and there's a lot of cool things there I want to show you guys. And along the way I'm going to be trying to teach you guys as many tips and tricks as I can so to make the game easier for you guys. Alright guys, we're going to start off this video with a quick tour of the space station. If there's something that you guys can think of that I've missed here on the space station, you guys can let me know down in the comments. So at this station you can upgrade your ship, you can upgrade the amount of storage that's on the ship, and you can upgrade the class of the ship here. This is the customization station. Just to give you guys a quick idea, you can change a lot of different aspects of your character here, including the race of the character. So now that we're done with our customization, on this side of the ship you'll also find some merchants. This guy can upgrade your suit for you. And when you go to a new station, you always want to drop by this guy, especially early on in the game, so that you can upgrade the inventory slots in your suit. I would recommend that every time you get to a new station that you do this, because you really want to have those extra inventory slots. You can get extra inventory for your technology as well, and then the cargo slots are pretty much just extra inventory slots that allow you to have double the resources that you would in a normal inventory slot. We don't need to worry about this now, but eventually you can get upgrades for your suit from this guy. You can get upgrades for your exocrafts from this guy. Upgrades for your ship from that dude right there, and then you can get upgrades for your multi-tool and buy another multi-tool if you're interested. So every time you go to a new space station, I would also recommend that you come over to this dude and check out his multi-tool, see if it's an upgrade for the one you're currently using. Now over on the other side of the space station, you have your galactic trade terminal. And this is where you'll be doing most of your buying and selling. You can have a look through the inventory here, see what they sell. And you can also, so you can sell straight from your inventory, or you can switch over and sell stuff from your ship as well. And just a tip for you guys to keep in mind for later on in the game, it's actually much more efficient later on once you get to the point where you want to have a lot of resources. It's actually more efficient rather than going out and trying to gather up all the resources yourself. It's actually more efficient to just farm the units and then come to a space station and buy the resources that you need from the space station itself. And I'll also be giving you guys a bunch of beginner tips in this video for making units as well, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. It is very difficult to do a video with you guys completely surrounding me making those noises. Do you mind? Can I get just a minute? Just 1 minute? Just 1 minute of quiet. That's all I need. 1 minute of quiet. What? 1 minute. Just a minute, guys. But as far as the beginner's guide goes, I think I've covered this space station well enough. When you guys get here, just explore around, have a look around at all the different vendors, and you'll be able to check it out all for yourself. It's only a small area, pretty easy to explore around and check everything out. But the last thing that I want to talk about here is just the teleport station. These are on all of the space stations. All the space stations are pretty much the same. The layout is pretty much the same. These teleporters, you can teleport back to any of the bases that you've created, and you can also teleport back to any space station that you've previously visited. Loading screen, loading screen. So you can teleport back to any base that you've created previously, whether you have a teleporter there or not, but you will need a teleporter to be able to teleport back to a space station or from a base to another base. And right now we're going to continue on with the story. This is a big old crash ship, ain't it? Big old crash ship. The signal has led me to the wreck of a freighter. Colossal fragments of metal scattered across the landscape. I pull the blueprint from the computer. But this hyperdrive blueprint is for a conventional starship, not a freighter of this size. Someone must have royally screwed up. No wonder they crashed. Alright guys, we are currently trying to get a hyperdrive for our ship. We need chromatic metal, which is pretty easy. We make chromatic metal out of our copper, which we have a ton of. We don't need to worry about that, but we do need 95,000 units in order to buy the microprocessors. But luckily I fell into a cave, and that cave was filled with these albumin pearls. Aluminium pearl. Also, if you just want to get the salvaged data, that'll get you a ton of units. I only have 9, and I kind of want to hold on to those in order to get blueprints later on, so I probably won't be selling them, but if you want to get a couple extra salvage data, it's actually a pretty good way to get some units for yourself. Alright, so we're just going to head back to our ship and then go to the space station. But before I do that, I want to show you another little trick that you can use to get up over large cliffs. So you guys will notice that if you're just out here and you use your jetpack to go up in the air, I'm gonna hurt myself here. Oh, yep, that hurt. Okay, so you can see that you can only go so high, but if you get next to like a flat wall like this, you can actually just continue up that wall and it won't use your jetpack fuel. Just watch. See? It's not using the jetpack fuel at all. This is an interesting building. You'll see that it's surrounded by these whispering eggs. So this is another pretty good unit farming tip for you guys early on in the game. If you use your mining laser on them, a little ball will pop out, and that little ball is actually worth quite a bit of units. But you need to be prepared because there's going to be some monsters that are going to pop out of the ground and try to eat you. So yeah, mining laser, grab it, grab it, grab it, grab it. And launch yourself up. Now, you'll see that I'm completely surrounded by these crazy dudes. So there's a couple of different things that I can do at this point. I can just fly down on the other side, because you can see that there's no one over there. There's no monsters over there. So I can just fly down and then try and grab another one over there. Or you can just wait until they go back down into the ground, because eventually they will lose aggro on you and go back to the ground, and you can drop down and try and get another one. Alright, so after farming a couple of these, you can see I've only got 4, and it's already worth 279,000 units. Okay, probably gonna die. Okay, I did that on purpose because you know, I wanted to show you guys, you know, what it's like to die. That was totally on purpose. So you will respawn back at your ship. I'm lucky in this circumstance where I died, because I died right directly on my ship. And you just got to make sure you go back and pick up all your stuff, and you're good to go. Alright guys, there's actually another way on this planet that I'm on to make some extra units as well. These natural burial sites, and as I head over there, just want to tell you guys, this is actually a series of videos that I've been doing. There's a couple others that you can check out that will actually link in the end screen at the end of this video. Alright, these ancient bones, let's pick them up. Now as you guys can see, we've gotten 5 bones from this location, all worth quite a bit. So from this one location we've gotten nearly 1,000,000 units. Now one more tip for you guys. you can actually summon in your ships, and once you get your exocrafts, you can also summon them in. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to summon in our ship. It will use up some of our launch fuel, but it's worth it sometimes to not have to walk all the way back to your ship. Alright, what we have here is a crashed ship. You can actually repair these ships and take them for your own. Alright, so we repaired the ship enough to get it back to the space station, so we repaired the launch thrusters and the pulse engine. I am not going to be messing around with this ship trying to get it back in working order. I just don't want to have to deal with repairing all of these components, but if you want to go ahead and do that, you can, but it's not something that I want to spend my time at, so I'm just going to turn it in for units. If you come over here to this Starship Outfitting station, you'll actually see claim scrap worth 1,510,000. So as you can see, I scrapped the ship and I got a bunch of components in return that I can sell for units, and I also got a couple of upgrades that I can use for another ship. So I ended up receiving around 1.5 million in units, so now we're up to 3,539,000. For now I'm going to stick with the beginner ship, and later on I'll just buy a ship for units, because it is actually pretty easy to save up enough units to buy a decent ship later on. So I just didn't want to bother with the time-consuming process of repairing a ship that you find. I find that it's better just to bring it back to the station and turn it in. So here is the Nexus. This is the player hub. You're going to see a lot of different players here, and you can actually do multiplayer missions, which I'll talk about now in a second. Once you get here, you're going to have a tutorial that you're going to have to follow. It only takes you like a minute to complete it. This spot is where you can get some excellent missions to get some very good rewards. As you can see, all of these missions that are here now give nanites, and that's actually all a very good amount of nanites. But you can also get missions that'll give you units as well, and it'll give you usually somewhere between like 400,000 and 500,000 units. They're very good missions, give you a lot of units. And then the top mission that you see here is for Quicksilver. Just over here, this is the Quicksilver vendor. And this guy will sell you a ton of things for Quicksilver, some very cool items, items that you can place into your base, different jetpack exhausts. These are actually heads that you can unlock for your character, all very cool. Different armors that you can get for your character. There are actually multiple different helmets that you can get, all look very cool. So that's the Quicksilver vendor. So we've taken care of the Nexus, the Quicksilver vendor, and another quick run up here. We've got this guy, and there's actually a couple of guys here like this turning your discoveries to, and he will give you nanites. And there's another guy, I believe, right over here. There you go, transmit milestone data. And he should also give me nanites. There we go, look at that. 750 nanites. Pretty sweet. Alright, so let's continue on up around. And head down into this area. The tutorial will take you down here. And it'll show you that this guy has upgrades for your exosuit. And it'll show you, if you have a look over here, I'll actually look at this one. This one offers all the building blueprints. So you can unlock everything that you would want for your base. Right here. I'll flick through the tabs so you can see everything. And you can also unlock the exocrafts here. I have a video on exocrafts. You guys want to check that out? I'll link it at the end of the video. This guy is your starship upgrades. This guy is your exocraft upgrades, and then this guy as your multi-tool upgrades. And then also he will offer you a multi-tool as well. And the last thing that I want to talk about just before we head out here is that you can find another teleporter over here. But this one's a little different than the teleporter in the space station. As you can see, you can actually travel to other people's bases, and you can find some really cool looking bases, so you can just travel there. Other than that, you can actually travel back to your own bases and travel back to space stations that you've recently visited. Alright everyone, that's it for this video. In the next video I'm going to be coming out with a tips and tricks video, so that should be coming out in the next few days if you guys want to check that out. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you got some useful information, and until next time, just remember, stay where you're at and I'll come where you to. Bye!